the YouTube first, then you can start.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll continue with that one.
No, hang on.
Lachman.
Professor Bandyopadhyay, please hold on. If you could mute yourself. We are starting. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, you may start now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Nehru ka tempo. I can't hear. Unmute yourself. Nehru ka tempo. Nehru ka tempo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. My name is Ranbir Gupta, 1970 batch. And at this time, I would like to introduce the MC for this occasion. And MC is none other than Vinod Jain, known to some of us as Baby Jain. Vinod has been a friend of mine for 51 years. We joined Nehru Hall together back in 1965. Vinod is a 1970 graduate in chemical engineering. He has done a lot of work in supporting the causes and the alumni functions in India for IIT alumni. On the business side, he's the chairman of Safed Group of Industries, which manufactures Safed, Sparkle, and Champion, the leading FMCG brands in India. Vinod was conferred the Distinguished Alumnus Award in 2021 last year. Without any further ado, let me introduce the MC for this function, Vinod Jain. Vinod?
I have the proud privilege of welcoming Professor Virendra Kumar Tiwari, Director, IIT Kharagpur, Professor Amit Mitra, Deputy Director, IIT Kharagpur, Professor Jayanta Mukhopadhyay, Dean Outreach, Professor Subrato Chattopadhyay, ex-Dean of Alumni Affairs, Professor Debashish, thank you. We have also with us Warden of Nehru Hall, Professor Dibakar Dhara, Chairman of Campus Construction, and we have wardens of other halls of IIT Kharagpur. I also welcome all alumni and Nehruites of IIT Kharagpur who are present here today or watching this program live on Zoom or YouTube, and students and residents of Nehru Hall. Welcome, welcome, welcome all of you to this historic ceremony. This is one of the first steps taken by Nehruites and alumni of IIT Kharagpur to fulfill our director, Professor V.K. Tiwari's dream of making IIT KGP among the top 10 universities in the world. Taaliyan ho jaएं. Thank you. You see, Professor Tiwari has a very clear-cut goal. And this goal was set when we met last time at the reunion of 1970 batch, when he made this statement, that this university, this IIT Kharagpur, he will be taking to be one of the top 10 universities in the world. And this is our goal. This is our goal for today. The project name was unanimously decided as Nehru Ka Tempo. Incidentally, right from the early days, the three words Nehru Ka Tempo meant a lot for each and every Nehruite. There's some noise somewhere. Can we stop this, please? Needless to mention that these words Nehru ka tempo, bringing all the josh and the energy to excel and achieve all your dreams. I repeat, नेहरू का टेम्पो बोलने के साथ साथ जोश आ जाता है, एनर्जी आ जाती है, और you have the feeling to excel and achieve all your dreams. This is the takat, this is the thing that Nehru ka tempo tells all Nehruites. We are thus confident that with this name of the project, we would soon do all that is required to turn Nehru Hall into one of the best equipped hostels in the world to live in. And with this, other hostels in the campus would follow suit. So are you ready, gentlemen? एक बार हो जाए, नेहरू का टेम्पो, नेहरू का टेम्पो, नेहरू का टेम्पो. Wow, wow. Now I invite our director, sir, the deputy director, sir, director outreach, Professor Chattopadhyay, Professor Debashish, alumni who are present here today, President and General Secretary, Alumni Affairs, President and General Secretary, Nehru Hall, to join the lighting of the diyas here on the stage, please. Professor Tiwari, sir. Can somebody help? Warren Saab, aap bhi aiye, please. Can we have the alumni, and where is the President and the Secretary of the General Secretary of the Nehru Hall, please? We would like you to join this great event. And we have the VP Devaki Nand, very difficult to pronounce your name. What is it? Devaki Nandana, the first girl VP of IIT Kharagpur. Give her a big hand, sir. ज्योति से ज्योति जगे आजकल, ज्योति से ज्योति जलाओ आज भी, नेहरू का टेम्पो हाई है हरदम, नेहरू का टेम्पो है हाई हरदम. तालियां हो जाएं, आपकी तालियां कहाँ हैं? आपकी तालियों में कमजोरी आ रही है. Jingle ho jaye, Nehru Hall. Jingle, please. Can we have the Nehru Hall jingle?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll have the jingle later. I would now request Mr. Ron Gupta, Ranbir, to deliver the inaugural address. But before that, let me introduce Ron to you, all of you. You know him so very well, but still, I would like to introduce him. Ron Gupta graduated from IIT Kharagpur in 1970 with major experience in the architecture department. He is an architect in the US with major experience in the global financial market. He was bestowed the Distinguished Alumnus Award in 2010 and made a Life Fellow of IIT Kharagpur in 2020. He is the president of IIT Kharagpur Foundation USA and also the Pan IIT Alumni of USA. I now request Ron to deliver the inaugural address, please. Ron, over to you.
Thank you, Vinod. Once again, Nehru ka tempo.
Aye,
Everybody unmute yourself for 10 seconds. Nehru ka tempo.
Aye,
Nehru ka tempo.
aye.
बहुत अच्छा है.
You can mute yourselves again, and thank you. Thank you, Vinod. Good morning in the Americas. Good afternoon in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And good evening. Great. And good evening in India and rest of Asia. Honorable Director Tiwari ji, Deputy Director Patra ji, Dean Mukhopadhyay ji, Professor Subrata Chattopadhyay, Dean HFC, Warden Dhara, IIT administration, faculty, and students, all IIT alumni from all over the world, and particularly the Nehruites, past and present. Welcome. About a year ago, a few die-hard Nehruites got together to talk about improving Nehru Hall. And I'll mention a couple of names. I'm not afraid to miss out a couple of names. Sukhvinder Grewal. Sukhvinder, raise your hand. Vradu Sheshamani. Vradu, raise your hand. Vinod Jain, of course you heard him, and myself, we got together to do something at Nehru Hall. And then we found out that even our director, Tiwari ji, is a Nehruite. And we recruited many others, and many others started to join us. Nehru Hall building was opened on March 3rd, 1954 by Dr. J.C. Ghosh, Jan Chandra Ghosh, with the motto, Savidya Vimuktai, a quotation from Vishnu Puran, meaning knowledge that leads to liberation or freedom of mind. Nehru Hall was part of 3 halls around what's called as Pan Loop, Patel Azad Nehru. We've started a movement that will modernize every room in Nehru Hall with new modern furniture, new electronic networks, and improved climatic conditions. And I'm proud to say, today, we've already raised enough money to put at least one name on almost 200 of these rooms. Give a clap to all the donors. We are going to improve the common room, expand it to almost twice its size, or build a new one, modernize the mess and the dining hall, add badminton courts, improve the music room, and improve the landscaping to connect with a proposed Japanese garden in the Pan Loop, which has been initiated by another Nehruite, Krishan Mehta. He may be on the call. Krishan, if you are, please raise your hand. Every Nehruite, past and present, will have an opportunity to put their name on every room they stayed in. And as I said, we already have 200 that have been committed. Today we start the construction of 3 mock-ups in 3 rooms so that you all have a chance to look at what's going to be done and vote on it and give your feedback. At this time, I'd like to thank you all and look forward to an improved Nehru Hall. Back to Vinod to carry on with the program. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ron. Please,
Thank you, sir.
applause for Ron again. I would now like to introduce Mr. C.N. Raghavendran, known as Raghu, Alumni IIT Kharagpur, to address the August House on the design of the Nehru Hall rooms. You must be wondering what exactly is going to happen. How are they going to become world class? And this is going to be shown to you by means of a PowerPoint presentation by Mr. C.N. Raghavendran. But before that, let me introduce Raghu to you all. Mr. C.N. Raghavendran, Padma Shri awardee, with over 55 years of experience, is a practicing architect and director emeritus of a reputed 75-plus year architectural firm, C.R. Narayana Rao, CRN, known as CRN, in Chennai and Bangalore. He has successfully designed a wide variety of landmark projects across the country and nearby countries, and has won awards and accolades of national and international repute. His design commitment in practice of green building concepts resulted in according him recognition for the leadership of Indian Green Building Council, IGBC, and US Green Building Council, USGBC, besides recognition by IIT Kharagpur as distinguished alumnus and the IIA with an award for excellence in design, and by IIA in admitting him to the Hall of Fame. He was also conferred with Niti Aayog's Achievement Award for Industry Doyen. He has also contributed himself to teaching social and community works. Two more members of his family were also IIT KGPNs. His firm is providing, this is to be noted, his firm is providing all architectural services to this project complimentarily. Please, applause. And this is as a dedication to Raghu's alma mater. So over to you, Raghu. Over to you. Can we have we given him the...
Thank you, Vinod.
Yeah.
Can we get a share screen, please?
Yeah.
We want the screen sharing connected.
Screen sharing, have you provided? He has to screen share. Yeah, please. Yeah, you can share. You can share your screen, Raghu.
We're seeking permission. Host to disabled participants screen sharing. Host has to enable it.
Aaron, you can do that.
Find me out here. Hold on. I think they should be able to do it.
It still says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Please provide him this. Have you provided him the co-host? Just 1 minute, please.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do it now.
Oh no, it's still the same response.
Well, Aaron, can you play it instead?
Oh, I'm the new host.
You can do it now. Try this.
Yeah. Okay, I have it.
Try.
I have.
Yeah. It's on.
It's on, yeah.
Yeah.
Just give it.
Please watch this very carefully. This is what is going to happen to Nehru Hall in the days to come. Full screen, please. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Hi, KGPNs. Good evening, good morning, and all else. Nehru ka tempo, hi.
Nehru ka tempo, hi hai.
Hi.
Hi hai. अरे भैया जोर से बोलो ना, हाई है. ये हुई बात.
That's what should keep us going in future. Respected Director Saab, respected Deputy Director Saab, senior professors, fellow alumni, faculty, and my dear students, and the most importantly, dedicated bunch of alumni who are spending big time on this wonderful project. But for them, we will not be here setting a new trend. I have to say a few words before my assigned task of presentation of the design concepts for the room refurbishment. I feel great to be participating in this happy event of Nehru Hall refurbishment, which is almost 7 decades after it was put into service. This is a significant game changer in the lives and career of many. Life in Nehru Hall, for that matter, life in IIT KGP, are for most alumni the happiest and unforgettable ever. It gives me immense pleasure to be back at Nehru Hall in my professional capacity after I left Nehru Hall almost 57 years ago. So what are we trying to do? Thanks to the great initiative, vision, drive, and most importantly, perseverance of many Nehruites and the munificence of many, Nehru Hall will offer enhanced experience to the occupants. Winston Churchill said once that man makes building, but finally the building makes man. We want to bring in a contemporary living experience that enhances the sensory perception, health, comfort, interaction, and productivity of occupants in all their activities. Leaders of tomorrow must live, learn, interact, and play in an atmosphere that prepares them for the future, just as it is happening in the academic process in IIT KGP. I'll now move quickly to the presentation that gives you an overview of the design intent.
Please watch this very carefully, and we would like to have your suggestions and comments after this.
Just a second. I'll have to. Yeah, this is the plan that we're all familiar with. The mess, different blocks and so on. This is the room that we are talking about. And how do we accommodate all activities in that? So a little bit of zoning diagram was made in terms of splitting into different areas for all activities. And here is the visual of what the room design intent wants it to be. We have a basic community, but done in a way that enhances the occupant's pleasure and occupant efficiency. That's the whole idea of this improvement. And it should give them a pleasant attitude to feel that the room is theirs and they should keep it well. And they should benefit out of the ambience given in this way. So we have the cot, which has got a lot of storage underneath. Then we have a very modern working table with a side table and book racks above and also on the side. We have the wardrobe, and then we have the shelves and so on. Now these are the ideas for the furniture that we are thinking about. A multi-use, multi-purpose situation with the wardrobe, shoe racks, lockable drawers, and workstation with a laptop and good connectivity, and very big size. And then foldable desks in case you need extra work table for meeting people or even for your own work, then overhead racks. And this is the cot that we are thinking about, which has underneath the storage for the usual stuff like hold alls and stuff like that. And also additional storage created underneath the bed by way of drawers which pull out. So this is the overall concept that is being created. And a little later, we'll know about how it's going to be implemented and so on. Just to sort of give you a rebrush on this image, so this is what it is. We have, starting from the left, this is the window, which will have a pelmet and a curtain. Then we have a flexible workspace. This whole thing will consist of a right-on table, side table, then book racks and storage units, and overhead book racks and bookshelves. Then on the side, there is a right-on table, which will also house a foldable desk. And then we have the wardrobe and the shoe racks and so on, this table. And this is the cot that we have. This is the same image taken from above. And then we have again the same thing taken from above. And this is another view of the arrangement, furniture arrangement. And these are the different types of furniture that we've been seeing in these visuals. So this is the prime place where students will spend purposeful time and enjoyable time and productive time, which also enhances interaction because he can get we do a lot of joint work, at least in our days, in architecture, it is always a joint work. So we can all sit together and work on this table. So these are the broad-based facilities that we are thinking about. And thank you very much. Thank you, Ron, and thank you, Vinod, for giving me an opportunity to work on this. Great pleasure that we are getting involved in this project. And I hope to see this as a reality as early as possible.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ron. And to take it forward as to what is going to look like, some mock-up rooms are being created here. And I would now request Mr. Partho Pratim Chakrabarti, Alumni IIT KGP, and request him to highlight the construction sequence of the Nehru Hall renovation project. Before that, let me introduce Partho. Partho is an architect and city planner from IIT KGP 1976 batch. He has 44 years of experience in several consultancy houses and real estate firms in India and abroad. Partho was associated as a head of architecture and town planning in Oscon Consultants International and as associate director in Jones Lang LaSalle, Kolkata. He was also involved in grooming several startup consultancy houses in India. He has successfully designed and delivered over 100 schools and hotels, such as Hyatt Regency and Hilton. East Kolkata Development and Basantghata Patoli are two major town planning projects financed by World Bank, where Partho has been a key member in the design team. His interests are varied, and apart from his professional expertise, he spends his leisure in writing poetry, art, and dramatics. He is an active Rotarian as well. So, may I have the privilege of calling Shri Partho, who is here, present live here, and he is going to talk about how the construction work is going to be carried out. Partho, over to you.
Thank you, Vinod, distinguished guests, and my fellow students. Well, Nehru Ka Tempo High Hai is a project that is expected to generate a slogan, IIT KGP Ka Tempo High Hai. So this is just the start to fulfill the dream of our director. The project would be taken up in several phases, as you have just heard, so that Nehru Hall becomes a landmark for modern and comfortable living for students of IIT. The project will have the following main phases: refurbishment of furniture and finishes in the rooms, refurbishment of common room, refurbishment of mess, refurbishment of gym and music room and sports facilities, and finally, improvement of general landscaping. Well, I've been entrusted with the responsibility of coordination and implementation of the project at site. The project is being inaugurated today, and the first phase shall be refurbishment of furniture and finishes in all rooms. Well, we have engaged a local contractor, Mrs. Kashish Builders, for carrying out upgradation works for electrical connections, floor finishes, doors and windows, and wall finishes. All work shall be carried out based on the drawings and specifications laid down by architect C.N. Raghavendra, or our beloved Raghu, who you have just heard. For supply and erection of furniture, we had invited quotations from 8 vendors, 2 from Chennai and 6 from Kolkata. 3 vendors were shortlisted for making 3 mock-up rooms. The mock-up rooms are expected to be finished by the end of April. The same will then be inspected, and the final vendor for furniture supply shall then be finalized. The first phase of this project is expected to be commenced in mid-May, and the same shall be taken up at 1 floor at a time. The time taken for each floor is expected to be 6 to 8 weeks. Since there are 16 floors, the total duration would be 96 weeks. However, the phases could be overlapped without much inconvenience to the residents, and this could be brought down to 15 months. In order to expedite this project, I would request cooperation from the warden and students of Nehru Hall for logistics and the alumni for the flow of funds. While this phase is being implemented, the other phases, namely common room, mess, gym, music room, landscape, shall all be taken up parallelly as and when the drawings, BOQ, and funds for the same are made available. I request the alumni of Nehru Hall to contribute generously for this cause and request cooperation from all residents and warden of Nehru Hall to help me complete this project on schedule. Thank you. Nehru ka tempo hai.
Thank you so much, Partha. It was crisp and clear as to what is really going to happen. And now I call upon Mr. Vardarajan Srishamani Varadu and request him to share his views on the project and to talk on how the donations can be made in Indian rupees. A little about Vardarajan Varadu. He is a Nehruite entrepreneur, graduated in mechanical engineering, then went into oil field equipment business. His partner was a Nehruite. In 1971 commenced special machines, making partner again a Nehruite. 1982 a project creation business for 38 years. Again the partner was a Nehruite. 2016 consolidated it all and now in manufacturing of cryogenics, thermoelectrics and UV testers. He was the General Secretary Social and Cultural of Nehru Hall in 1968-69 and is the current president, IIT KGP Alumni Foundation, India. Over to you, Vardu. You are muted, Vardu. Unmute yourself, please.
Thank you, Vinod. Let me try and put in a few words what kind of work we are going to do. Welcome to director and faculty and all the deans and to all the Nehruites, all the alumni who are watching this show. This is a small function to, generate the interest and the enthusiasm in all of us to get this entire project started. In fact, it's very great for me to be here. I mean, I never thought any time in my life that I would actually be even, getting back to doing something for the hall. It feels great. So let's hope that this results in something good. My part in this is very small. I recognize this project as a very major initiative from the alumni in the US Foundation, the Institute at Kharagpur, the Nehruites and the IITians. It's perhaps the biggest independent alumni effort in Kharagpur so far as I know. And to me, it's a trendsetter because if you look back about 2 years ago, a lot of us got together and said, we need to do something about the halls. And we were looking at all the halls in a common denomination at that time. But this is another great approach. It's a trendsetter for sure. This is an approach where every hall gets the opportunity to actually modify or let us say set the parameters for the design of the hall. And to that extent, I think this is a great way of going about it. Of course, it took some time to organize this entire sequence of events. Starting last year, in a year of discussions, the Nehru Hall team has planned very well. We have actually gathered together the different functions of different groups. There are groups across the world. There are groups in India. Our group, that is for the Alumni Foundation India, is to help reach the money to the project. Before that, we have to gather the money for the project, ensure that we fulfill every single law that is in place in India. And India is a forest of laws. So, if you make a mistake somewhere, you get tripped. And we don't want to trip. So we have created space on our website so that people can go through the website and actually donate the funds. And we are in close coordination with the US Foundation and with Erin and with Ron and others on this, and also with Vinod, who's handling the Indian end of the execution of the project. And we depend on every stakeholder for support. We are there to ensure that we can add more value to the Indian end. Just to give an idea, the way that we would work is to gather the Indian funds, and in accordance with the Indian laws, we would actually procure the loose furniture, and according to the drawings given by Raghu, and then we would, depending on the quantities that are also required, we would procure this equipment, inspect it, and deliver it to the hall and have it installed by the same supplier. So far we have created a public presence, I think about 7 or 8 weeks ago in our website. We've had about something like 8 contributors, bringing in about 60 lakhs so far, which is pretty fast, I thought. In fact, today, as a pleasant surprise, we just received about 1 lakh of rupees just a short time back. We look forward to an excellent project conclusion, and I'm very happy to be associated with this entire project. And I invite as many Indian alumni as possible who would look to contributing to this project. They can contribute in terms of ideas, in terms of information, in terms of project support, and so on. I mean, there are many ways, and any one of you can, or anyone anywhere can actually get in touch with anyone in the foundations, different foundations, and try to get involved. And we look forward to more people getting involved. Thank you very much for this opportunity to have talked about this project.
Thank you, Varadu. Round of applause for him, Varadu. I would now call upon Mrs. Erin Moran and request her to share her views on the project and to talk on how the donations can be made in US dollars on a tax-free basis and in many other currencies. Mrs. Erin Moran is presently the Executive Director of IIT Kharagpur Foundation USA. And over to you, Erin.
Thank you so much. Good morning, evening, and night to everyone. The pleasure of being a part of this project since its inception. It's an inspiration to see the amount of support that the alumni of Nehru have for their beloved hall. I have no doubts that the project will continue to gain momentum and meet its goal to modernize and make Nehru Hall a world-class residence hall facility. There's been about 400,000 in US dollar donations committed so far, with many more commitments being made. Of these contributions, there have been 2 individual donations of $50,000, one to remodel the entire D-top West Wing from the batch of 1987, and numerous groups, typically individual batches and or dedications in the memory of a batchmate, that have come forward to sponsor entire wings, blocks, and multiple rooms. One of the groups is committed to redoing all of A block. Group donations like this are a wonderful way to bring your batchmates together while helping your Nehru Hall in its remodeling efforts. All alumni have an opportunity to give back, with those in the US being able to take advantage of tax benefits for their contributions through the US Foundation. We can also accept contributions in many other currencies, however, cannot offer tax benefit for those. I'm going to share a link in the chat areas of both Zoom and also YouTube, which will give you more information on ways you can give back to your Nehru Hall. I'll share that now. The first link is to contribute via our online platform donor box. This platform allows you to quick donation in various currencies. The second item gives the foundation's mailing address in case you would like to mail a check. Also my email address if you have any questions. The third link will take you to the portal for donations being made in INR, as Varadu had mentioned earlier. And then the last link is a link to our webpage for the project, which will be where we will actually go out and add any updates about the project, pictures of the mock-up rooms and such. So keep an eye on that webpage. And again, I just want to thank everyone for their continued and future support of this project. Congratulations to Nehru Hall for leading the way in hall modernization at IIT KGP. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Erin. So you just heard that we have already commitments of 400,000 US dollars, and again 60 lakh in India Foundation. And we look forward to many more contributions and appeal to all of you that this is a cause for your own alma mater, and we have to fulfill the promise, the commitment that our director has made, that this IIT Kharagpur should be one of the 10 topmost universities. So please go, come ahead. You can contribute in very many ways. If your father is no more there, he studied here, you can contribute on his behalf, and so on and so forth. So anyway, now let us hear the views of some of the alumni of Nehru Hall who were the initiators of this project. First, I start off with Sukhminder Singh Grewal. Sukhminder Grewal of 19th century batch from IIT KGP obtained a PhD from the University of Wisconsin and then worked at General Electric for the next 30 years. At GE, he worked on safety of nuclear reactors, managing engineering computing, leading a transition from drawing to 3D computer models, manufacturing jet engine parts, and finally developing the website for work used by 4 lakh employees and workers. 10 years ago, he started his own software company and creating a pioneering no-code platform currently used for crisis management and daily operations across enterprise, aviation, healthcare, higher education, and local and state government. Over to you, Sukh.
Thank you, Vinod. Thank you. Ooh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes, please, go ahead.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So for me, the idea started a long time ago when, because of a spouse, I ended up here in New Haven, home of Yale University. And to my surprise, I found Yale was organized around these things they call colleges, and students would go to that, assigned to that college, which was a dormitory, for all 4 years. And 50 boys, 50 girls, and they ended up with lifelong friendships. And I looked at it and I said, this is not a college, this is a hall. This is like Nehru Hall. So IIT, we were very, very fortunate that IIT was organized in the same way by creating these halls where a bunch of us got together and stayed together for all those years and formed lifelong friendships, as you can see right here. Now, Yale also is interesting that it was started by an admin for the East India Company, Eli Yale, who worked in Chennai and made some money and sent 100 pounds to start Yale College. So, you know, again, by the way, I've leveled it out. I've sent the 100 pounds back to IIT now, so we're close to even. And the colleges here at Yale were very well funded. They were endowed. Each one of them had over $100 million in them. Well, but they've been collecting money since the year 1700. So there's been a long time since they've been collecting money, and they're in this state now. And we are just beginning. Just to tell you how recent this is, in 1980, my batch got together in San Francisco, and we collected $10,000 and sent it to IIT Kharagpur. We don't even know where it went. It disappeared. We did not have an alumni organization. We had nothing at that time. Think of how far we've come, the fact that all of us are here together making improvements. So IIT is on its way. One thing I request people is to think about the long term. Think about Yale started in 1700. And think about IIT, we've just been 70 years. And play the long game. Things will change here, politics will change, people will change, but IIT and Nehru Hall will go on forever as long as we support it. So that's what we need to do. And think about your investment or your donation to Nehru Hall and to IIT. It's going to be the long game. It's like you go down Yale and you see these people that gave money in 1710 or something, you know? So think about that way, and please, let's support our hall and let's make this the best hall ever. Thank you, Vinod.
Wow. अरे आपकी तालियों में दम ही नहीं हमारे भाई तालियां तालियां तालियां. He spoke from his heart and he really meant it. So let's again repeat what's happened in Yale University here at IIT Kharagpur Nehru Hall. Thank you once again, Sukh. Now I would call upon Shiladitya Basu. But before that, something about Shiladitya. Shiladitya was a resident of Nehru Hall from 1996 to 1999. He graduated with a BTech honors in aerospace engineering. Based in Houston, Texas, he is currently leading the outreach and fundraising efforts for Nehru Katempo renovation project. Over to you, Shiladitya.
Thank you, Vinod. Thank you, Director Hallwarden and the other esteemed guests. It gives me great pleasure to see the planning phase of the Nehru Katempo rolling into the execution phase. We have seen tremendous enthusiasm from the alumni and the current students. Some alumni groups have taken over complete wings. Some batches have decided to honor their friends that they have lost. Thank you for everyone that has been involved so far. This project needs continued support from all the Nehru alumni to get over the finish line. And as Sukh mentioned, there is actually no finish line. It's going to be a continuing effort, and we'd like to get all your support in that. Come, join us and the current students and the Nehru Hall to make it a hall to live in for the next 50 years. Nehru Katempo!
Hi, hey!
Hi, hey!
Nehru Katempo! Nehru Katempo! Thank you, Sheila. It was really very nice of you to tell us more about what exactly is going to happen over the years.
Coordinator Sheila Ditubas.
Yeah. Yeah, now I'll request Prasad Menon. But a few words about Prasad Menon. Who's talking, please?
Chemical 68.
Please unmute yourself, please. Mute yourself, sorry. Yeah, about Prasad Menon. Prasad Menon is a chemical engineer of 1968 batch from IIT Kharagpur Nehru Hall. He was the managing director of Tata Chemicals. Thereafter, MD of Tata Power, and on several boards of listed companies and NGOs. Received Distinguished Alumnus Award from IIT KGP in 2013, Lifetime Achievement Award from Indian Chemical Council in 2019. Over to you, Prasad.
Thank you, Vinod, and good evening, Director, distinguished guests. Good morning, good evening, everybody. I think it was just about a little over a year ago that some of us who used to live up on C-top middle of Nehru Hall, we were having a long chat on Zoom, and then suddenly one of us, Pratul Ajmeras, he said, look, what are we going to do about our old hall? You know, we enjoyed 5 years of living there, had great fun, but after we've left, we haven't done anything at all. And that got us thinking, that got us looking at opportunities. And it was a little later that we found that Ron and Vinod and Bardu and Sukhminder, everybody were actually already working on it. So we then joined that particular group, and we said that we would be happy to contribute. And all of us then said that we would commit to contributing enough to change all the rooms in A block. And I'm very happy to announce that all of us have now actually contributed enough. And I hope we'll be able to do more. But I think that just makes me want to ask every one of you who are here on this broadcast, as well as who perhaps have just learned about it, to do their bit. Just give whatever you can, and let's make Nehru Hall a hall of residence to be proud of. Thank you very much, Ron, Bardu, Vinod. You guys have done a great job, and we are here to keep supporting you. Thank you once again.
So the entire A block is going to be refurbished, and the funds are going to be provided by their group. So once again, a round of applause, please, for Prasad Menon and his group. I would now request Mr. Pranab Guha to say a few words. But before that, Pranab is a 1969 batch electrical engineer. Pranab's uncle, a professor of thermodynamics, was the warden of Nehru Hall in the late 1950s. 3 of the Guha brothers were in Nehru Hall between 1964 and 1977. Three of the brothers. Pranab Guha received the Distinguished Service Alumnus Award about 10 years ago. In fact, he was instrumental in bringing air spring technology to India from the USA Pranab is presently the chairman and managing director of Gibraltar Air Springs Private Limited. So Pranab is here with us today. And Pranab, over to you. A round of applause for Pranab, please.
Thank you, Vinod. Thank you, Ron. You guys have really done a very good job so far. I'd like to put in my 2 bits worth as well. Nehru Hall is very, very close to my heart, and well, let's all keep going ahead and keep the tempo high. Nehru ka tempo?
High hai.
Nehru ka tempo?
High hai.
Nehru ka tempo?
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pranab. Now the alumni have spoken enough, but let me tell you, this is not only alumni affair. The students are equally involved in this project. The students of Nehru Hall are equally involved, and I would therefore first invite Gaurav. Gaurav, please come here. Gaurav Garg, please come here and speak on behalf of the Nehruites. What do you feel? And be very frank. Come, please. अरे तालियां अपने दोस्त के लिए तो मारो यार मेरे भाई.
Good evening everyone, distinguished guest, respected director sir, all the alumni and my fellow residents. So I'll formally introduce myself the KGP way. My name is Gaurav Garg. I'm a 3rd year undergraduate student of the Department of Geology and Geophysics, enrolled in its integrated Master of Science course in Exploration Geophysics. I'm a boarder of Nehru Hall of Residence. I'm from Ratlam, Madhya Pradesh. I am General Secretary, Students Welfare, Nehru Hall of Residence, Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur for the academic session 2021-2022. I feel immense pride and I'm glad to inform you that I am contesting for the post of Vice President, Technology Students Gymkhana, Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur for the academic session 2022-2023. I believe that the culture the halls brings with us help us flourish throughout life. And Nehru Hall of Residence has formed an invaluable part of my journey, identity, and growth at the IIT Kharagpur campus. It has been 20 years since any vice president has been elected from Nehru Hall of Residence, Mr. Abhinav Sinha being the last in the academic session 2002-2003. It is the belief and support of my fellow residents of Nehru Hall of Residence that makes me stand tall and contest for this position apart from all the setbacks that I have suffered in the previous times. I am very grateful to the alumni of Nehru Hall of Residence, Nehruites, for their contributions in making Nehru Hall the best hall on campus and renovating their home away from home. Thank you everyone who's present here. I hope you have a good evening. Nehru ka tempo. Nehru ka tempo. Nehru ka tempo. Thank you everyone.
Nehru ka tempo, hi. Nehru ka tempo,
Great, Gaurav.
hi.
अरे भाई तेरे में बहुत
Nehru ka
दम है, तू तो
tempo,
वीपी बन के
hi,
रहेगा.
hi.
तो एक बार तालियां वीपी के लिए. Thank you so much, Gaurav, once again. अभी नेहरूवाइट आप ही लोग ही नहीं हैं. आपको you must incidentally know, Professor V.K. Tiwari, director of the institute, is a Nehruite himself. तालियां उनके लिए. And what can you infer when you say that along with Professor Tiwari, the President IIT India Foundation, Shri Vardarajan Seshamani, is a Nehruite. The President IIT US Foundation, as well as Pan IIT alumni, Shri Ron Gupta is a Nehruite. Shri Arvind Kejriwal, Chief Minister Delhi, is a Nehruite. Shri Sundar Pichai, CEO of Alphabet Incorporation and its subsidiary Google, is a Nehruite. Talia. And you can go on and on and on. The people who spoke here.
Nehruite, you are very bright.
Okay.
Nehruite, you are very bright.
Okay, we are bright. And so, what all you can say, thus, what you can infer, all that you can say is that Nehruites are destined to make it to the top position. Nehruites are destined to make it to the top position, gentlemen. And आपको करके दिखाना है, इसको VP बनाना है पहले. गौरव को VP बनाना है, लग जाओ सबके सब, और गौरव को VP बनाना है. और याद रखना, कहते हैं वो फिल्म थी ना, कौन सी फिल्म थी? ओम शांति ओम. शाहरुख खान कहता है, क्या कहता है, कोई बोलेगा? Somebody will tell his dialogue. जिस चीज को हम शिद्दत से चाहते हैं, सारी खयानात मिलकर उसको अपने को पाने में साथ देती है. तो याद रखना, किसी चीज को पाना है तो उसके लिए जमकर लग जाओ, जमकर लग जाओ. Success is only two words. Success is formula है. Success का formula क्या है? Success का formula एक ही है. Positive attitude plus 200% hard work is equal to success. एक formula देता हूँ, याद रखना. Success is equal to positive attitude plus 200% hard work. So gentlemen, एक बार फिर जोश लाते हैं अपने अपसाप में और बोलते हैं, नेहरू का टेम्पो, नेहरू का टेम्पो, नेहरू का टेम्पो. Thank you so much. Now I humbly invite our director, sir, Professor V.K. Tiwari, to address the August gathering. Over to you, Professor Tiwari, sir.
Nehru ka
Namaskar to all of you. Mr. Ron Gupta, Vardu, Vinodji here, and all other Nehruites, online, offline present here, and beloved students of this hall. Friends, this is a historic moment, and I'm sure that the journey which has just begun, and it has well begun, and hence it is half done. I'm sure the design which has been given for this particular halls, each of the rooms, will definitely mesmerize each one of you. When the mock-up will be ready, I'm sure you will love to catch that room itself. Somebody was asking me how you are going to allot these rooms, and I could find only one formula. If the rooms are less, people are more, we will go for, what should we go for? Just toss.
Success. Success.
So we have to do a lottery, and whoever gets it, he will be the first occupant of that room. Friends, I had attended only 3 meetings of that Nehru Ka Tempo, but I can tell you that the tempo which was started long back is going to get its real scene very soon. See, first of all, what is important is the timeline. We all talk, but we don't give a timeline for our projects. And the very fact that this alumni have already decided the timeline of preparation and as well as taking up the other things simultaneously. I am confident that this hall will become the first hall which we are dreaming of. Just the other day, some of our alumni were saying that see how you can think of becoming top 10 in the world. You see the hostels. Then one of the alumni, I will not use the exact word what he said, but he said that, well, if you think that your room is not good, Why don't you write a check for that? So possibly that is what Vinodji, Ron, and all the people who are assembled in this particular endeavor are asking for from each one of you. I think the amount is not so particular. The amount and the feeling is very important. You may not be able to give 3 lakh rupees, which is required per room, even if you give 1 lakh and get another 2 lakhs from your friends. I think you have done the job. It's possible. And the way our Gaurav has said that, yes, I am going to make it possible after 2000, the next VP will be a Nehruite. I think let us give him a big hand and wish him all the best. I came to this hall in 2020 when the Janta curfew was to be observed. And even the students didn't know, and I told that, in fact, I also belong to this hall. And that very day we were having chat. I think then the president, I don't know whether he is here or passed out. So we met, we had tea even during that period of COVID in the common room. And then there itself I said that I will give 1 lakh rupees, and whatever you want to do in this hall, any improvement, please go ahead. That day I had committed. And when Ron wanted this Nehru Ka tempo high for the halls the rooms, I said I have already committed. He said, "Chalo bohni ho chuki hai, aur acha bohni hui hai." So Ron, I hope that the thing which was started by you and thought of is taking shape, and it will definitely be a great one. What has been told just now is you have to have a positive frame of mind. That is the first requirement to become a Google CEO. Yes, it doesn't matter which branch you belong to. What is important is what is your attitude, because it is said that your altitude is decided by your attitude. Remember this. You can go to higher altitudes if your attitude is very, very positive. Positivity has to be there in each and every task that we think of. Otherwise, nothing can move. Even in tough situations, we should remain positive, calm and positive. We have seen Dhoni. Everybody is fan of Dhoni. Everybody is fan of Kapil Dev at one time. When 183 was there in 1983, only 183 was the runs on the board. And he said that anyway, we know that they are going to do it in no time, but at least we will make them strive for every run, and the rest is history. And after that, the whole one-day style and one-day cricket change in this country. And today you can see the scene. And it was only that positive frame of mind of Kapil Dev on that night of 20th June 1983. I had seen the whole match here in TV. It was a small black and white TV. So I think, friends, keep a positive frame of mind. And I'm sure if Gaurav keeps a positive frame of mind and talks the way he has talked today, he will be successful. I hope that this project will come up, and all the best to all the friends who are listening to me and are making contributions to make this hall first of its kind. And I'm confident that other halls will come up. I'm sure many other halls residents are also asking, can we start? I said, where is the question of not starting? You start parallelly and beat Nehru halls. Nehru ka tempo high hai. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have the first lady vice president here today. I request her to say a few words. Devaki Nandana. তালিয়াं इसके लिए।
ওই মেয়েটাকেও ডেকে নিয়ে এসেছে আমাদের টেকনোলজি স্টুডেন্ট ফার্স্ট লেডি ভাইস প্রেসিডেন্ট এখন ফাইনাল ইয়ার স্টুডেন্ট মেয়েটা এগ্রিকালচারে।
Thanks a lot, Vinod, for the introduction. And firstly, myself, Devaki Nandana, currently Vice President, Technology Students, Gymkhana. We always heard about the alumni of Nehru, be it Sundar Pichai, Arvind Kejriwal, Ron Gupta. Recently in the alumni meet also, I got to meet alumni like Sheila Aditya, Pranab Guha. I've been in touch for 2 to 3 months already. But working with Nehruites, be it our director, sir, even our Dean Student Affairs, Professor Dhrubjyoti Sen, he is also from Nehru Hall. Nehruites never fail to amaze me with their discipline. Working with our Dean Student Affairs closely, every day I get a new learning from him, the way he works. Or our director, sir, even now, his energy cannot be matched. Today also in this program, we got an amazing host, Vinod, your energy, literally unmatchable energy. Yeah, one huge round of applause for our energetic host today, for your loads of energy. So thank you all the alumni for your presence, for always being an inspiration. So for the students especially, what I want to say is we are deriving our constant inspiration or motivation from our alumni. Similarly, whatever I have spoke till now, the alumni of Nehru has created a difference everywhere, be it at national level, international level, even in the institute. Now the challenge comes at the students level. A few days back, when I was meeting the alumni during the alumni meet, they were saying that, yes, we are ready to contribute to the hall in terms of infrastructure, but there are also alumni who are saying, here, rooms are good, doors are good, but students, we feel some of them are not as disciplined as we used to be in our days. So I feel that students of Nehru, Nehruites, should create a difference at the students level also. Even your small change that you will bring in your grounds or in your participation everywhere or in the gardening way or the way you keep the rooms. Because now Nehru Ka Tempo, this is such a great project. I was telling our alumni office also, yeah, next year we'll come up with empty hall Ka Tempo as well. But next, it is your challenge as well, Nehru Ka Tempo. That's a great initiative taken by the alumni. But you need to take it forward. You need to maintain it. That is in our hands. That's where you need to make the difference. And you need to keep the tempo high always. So, yeah, now I'll end with a note ki KGP ka tempo high hai.
देखो भाई, जब अपनी वाइस प्रेसिडेंट बोलती है ना केजीबी का टेम्पो हाई है, तो आपको तो हाई है बोलना है ना. बोलते हैं एक बार केजीबी का टेम्पो आईडी केजीबी का टेम्पो. Thank you so much. Now we are coming to the end of the program, and I call upon the director to formally inaugurate the renovation project by ribbon cutting and painting Nehru Ka Tempo on the canvas there, please, sir.
যে ফর্মালি ইনঅগুরেট করবে আর কি এই প্রজেক্টটা আজকে থেকে শুরু হলো ফর্মালি ইনঅগুরেশন হচ্ছে 2 বছর লাগবে ওখানে যাচ্ছে একটা মডেল তৈরি করা
Zoom the camera.
Nehru Ka Tempo. Nehru Ka Tempo, hi, hi. Nehru Ka Tempo, hi, hi. और हाई से हायर हाईएस्ट हो जाएगा. नेहरू का टेम्पो हाई हाई. नेहरू का टेम्पो. डायरेक्टर सर आ रहा है, ठीक है, उन्होंने बना दिया, ठीक है, बहुत अच्छा हुआ.
Before you all leave, do not forget to collect the pack of sweetest mewa bundi laddus, a token of love and blessings to you all from the alumni. Please do not forget to take that. And I would now request Professor Dibakar Dhara to propose the vote of thanks. Professor Dibakar Dhara, please. सर जी, इनके बदौलत हैं हम आप सब कोई, तो एक बार तालियां जोरों के लिए.
Okay, good morning and good afternoon or good evening, depending upon wherever you are.
in the globe. As a warden of Nehru Hall of Residence, I take this opportunity to thank Professor V.K. Tiwari, our director, for permitting this project to take off, and also for coming here tonight and inaugurating the renovation work. Thank you, sir, for your kind help. I would also like to thank Mr. Ron Gupta for conceiving this project along with his friends and taking personal initiative to ensure that the project takes shape. Thank you again, sir. I would also like to thank Mr. Vinod Jain, Mr. C.N. Raghavendra, Mr. Parthapratim Chakrabarti, Mr. Vradarajan Seshamani, Mrs. Irene Moran, and other members from IIT Kharagpur Foundations for their constant support towards planning and implementation of this project. I want to, of course, thank and express our deepest gratitude to all those Nehruites who have generously contributed for making this project a success. Internally, I would like to thank Professor Amit Patra, Deputy Director, Professor Jayanta Mukhopadhyay, Dean Outreach, Professor Dubrojyoti Sen, Dean Student Affairs, Professor Partho Saha, Chairman HMC, for their support in this project. I would like to thank Professor Raja Datto and his team from CIC, and Mr. Shiv Shankar Das and his team from CET for helping us in smoothly conducting today's program. I would also like to acknowledge the support received from my co-wardens, Professor Sivakaran Bhakto and Professor Kopil Debnath, our hall manager, Mr. Potik Patra, supervisor, Mr. Sujit De. And last, but of course, not the least, I want to thank the students from this hall, especially Devesh Govind, for his contribution and continuous enthusiasm and hard work. Thank you, Devesh, and I thank you all for joining this meeting. Thank you again. Once.
And say whatever you want to say.
Hey Ron, great job
for you.
Thank
Great
you
job,
all.
Ron. Yeah.
Thank
Hey,
you,
Ron,
Ron.
I have
Thank
to
you,
sign
Amy.
off. It's 1 a.m. in Singapore, so I'll say goodbye to all of you. Thank you so much.
Great job. Thank you. Great program. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
We need
Pawan.
money. We need money. We need money. We have a long way to go. Please donate. Please open your purse and your heart. Thank you.
IIT खड़गपुर कलकत्ता से कितना दूर घर से चलो हावड़ा
ख्वाबों जैसे वो साथ थे दीवारों से किताबों तक कई किस्से बेमिसाल थे खुशी ने लिपटी वही कहानी यादों ने दोहराई है नेहरू का टेम्पो हाई 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 है गूंज देती वो सुनाई है नेहरू का टेम्पो हाई है नेहरू का टेम्पो हाई है आए थे यूं तो जुदा जुदा पर मंजिल मिलती जुलती थी IIT गेट से ही सबकी राह किस्मत की खुलती थी स्कॉलर्स एवेन्यू पे साइकिल पर यारी अपनी याद आई है नेहरू का टेम्पो हाई 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 है गूंज देती वो सुनाई है
अपना ही रंग जमाया है। इन राहों पे चलना वैसे IIT ने ही सिखाया है।
कई मुश्किल हमने किए हैं हल और पहुंचे हर ऊंचाई है। IIT से ही यारो अपनी पहचान बनाई है। वो दिन वो बातें दिल में फिर एक मीठी टीस जगाई है। नेहरू का टेम्पो हाई है, नेहरू का टेम्पो हाई है, नेहरू का टेम्पो हाई है, नेहरू का टेम्पो हाई है। एक बार चलो फिर दोहराए, नेहरू का टेम्पो हाई है, नेहरू का टेम्पो हाई है, नेहरू का टेम्पो हाई है, नेहरू का टेम्पो हाई है।
Great show. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.